Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about setting the intention for 2020-2021 school year. If you'd like to hear more about it, let's get started. All right, so what do I mean by setting an intention? We hear that word, it's become very popular. But for me, last year, when I decided to homeschool pretty much on the fly, which a lot of you may be doing right now in this season, I automatically didn't feel overwhelmed, but I wanted to do and activate whatever God would want me to activate. I didn't want to just go in it blindly. And so the Lord gave me a little note I had wrote to myself a while earlier in the months before this even took place. And it said, Lord, please give me the pace of grace to live this slower paced life so that my children will know what it's like to have, what it means to be loved and loved presently. It went along those lines. And so grace truly has been our word in our family as well as in our homeschooling year. And it will continue to flow through us as we go and we learn and we go through the highs and ups and downs. But this year, I was taking some time before I jumped on with you guys, and I was I had my Bible and I was writing some things down, and the word trust was so loud. And I feel like that's so good because trust is something that I think almost every single person has a hard time trusting people, or trusting things or trusting the situation. But the constant of knowing I can trust in God, who is my creator, that he'll take care of it all. And so trust came about. And so the overall intention for my year was to expand our minds as far as God his will would be for us. And we are going to be diving into some different types of subjects and learning and growing. Zoe's getting older, Josephine's getting older, but I want us to dig our roots really deep. And if we need to plant some seeds, like I mentioned in my mom's video, of just digging deep and finding our trust and making sure our trust is in the right way, right things, like in the Lord and not into things or people, but truly just in the Lord, like trusting in him that he's got us no matter what. And so I wrote down a little acronym because I love acronyms. It allows me to really break things down even more from my heart. And so with trust, I had timely, resilient, unique, sense or soul, because I had sense and soul, and I haven't really married to one or the other, but I think soul really fits a little bit more. So it's timely, resilient, unique, soul, trust. And there's so many things I could break down with all of that. But why I said timely, it's because it is timely that in this season that we homeschool, that God prepared us before we even knew we needed to be prepared for this year. And so this giving us time to get into learning and growing into our next year, knowing that we have all the time that we need, take our time, enjoy it. And so I had timely there because it flowed better, but truly just taking a breath, learning to just breathe through it all. And even the days when things are hard, that we can just set it aside, but we can breathe through it. I think that's always been a struggle for me all the way up until when I think about labor. My husband was pretty much my coach, because he would tell me breathe, because I would tense up and not breathe when I was contracting or when it was time for me to push. But it's so important. I'm learning it day by day. One of my best friends is always trying to tell me you need to practice breathing. And so yes, it's part of that. Through time, take a breath, take your time and do it. And then I had resilient. I noticed in our last year, we struggled a little bit more with resilience of knowing and having to push forward, not giving up so quickly. And so I want to encompass and speak those power words of we are going to be resilient. We're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. We're going to take our time. We might have to set it aside, but we are going to pick it back up and we're going to keep pushing forward. Even if we have to learn it in a different way, we just are going to continue to be resilient in what we're given and what we're learning. And then unique. it is important that I am always fostering the love and honoring my children in their uniqueness. I don't want them to ever feel that they need to be anyone or anything else than who God created them to be. And as we are evolving, as we are learning who that person is, that they honor themselves and respect themselves for their uniqueness, as well as love on other people for their uniqueness. And so I felt that word fit perfectly. And then sense and soul, really just, I'm all about the soul when it comes to people. I just, oftentimes they can seem a little ugly. They might be going through something, but I like to look just straight at their soul and be like, that's God's child. Whether I agree with their lifestyle, I agree with how they speak or they do or this or that, but for our household, that we would see each other soul to soul. We love each other, we honor each other, we respect each other. And so cultivating that, just like remembering that even when I lose my patience sometimes, or if I get frustrated, but that I would take a breath in that timely moment, be resilient and not give up, recognize the uniqueness in my children, and then have soul, see them as a soul, and that I'm a soul, and that we do fail, we fall short. And then the last one is trust. I wanted to tie that back in because even though it spells trust and there is trust, it still just needs to be there. With all of that, building a space where trust is inhabited. I'm building the trust between me and my kids. I'm building the trust between me and my husband. I'm building the trust in myself as a homeschooling mom, as a teacher, as a Black woman, as a child of God, truly, especially in the climate and the time that we're in, to trust who God intended me to be at this given moment, that I don't need to look, be, or act like anything else than what He's called me to and who He's called me for. And so that is the word. It is, I am applying it more to myself, but as I evolve with our kids, I truly believe that this is something that's fundamental for them. And so the scripture that I actually had to go with this and where it started was Psalms 37, 3-7. And I have it all written here. I'll read it if y'all don't mind me reading it to you, but it's just trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your justice as the noonday. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Fret not yourself over one who prospers in his way, and over the man who carries out evil devices. And so that is just powerful, but overall, that was the scripture that spoke to my heart, to just wanting to love on people, befriend faithfulness, not dwell on the things I cannot control or those who I cannot control. And so I hope that inspired you, and that if you do it, if you already set intentions for your year, if you have a word that you speak over your kids and your family over the year, put that in the comments below. I want to stand in that with you. I want to be encouraging you and praying for you and your family as you go into this new year. If you have any questions about what I'm discussing, if you would like to know more of how I got there or how do I go about it, please do not feel embarrassed to not leave a comment, or you can find my contact information in the description box, and you can email me directly. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and until the next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.